Good morning, Hampton Roads pastors. This is Mark Costello, your regional catalyst with the SBC of Virginia. I wanted to make this video and share with you today just some thoughts about milestones. Milestones are an important thing in our life. God, in fact, himself commanded us to mark different things in our lives as milestones. He talked about grabbing stones of remembrance from the Jordan River when Israel crossed into the Promised Land, so that and to construct them in an altar, so that when children asked about what these stones were, that their fathers and those before them could tell stories of God's faithfulness. Milestones in my life have been much on my mind here of late. This year marks 33 years in pastoral ministry for me. This year also marks 25 years in serving Southern Baptist through two state conventions and our North American Mission Board. This year also marks 15 years that I have completed serving Virginia Southern Baptist here at the SBC of Virginia. And I'm grateful for the opportunities and privileges to walk alongside of pastors like you and your church to help you in your task of fulfilling the Great Commission. That's what we're about at the SBCV. And we like to say around our shop that you are not alone. And we mean that. We not only mean that from a convention standpoint, but I know that you also resonate with that. And you're there for each other. And that's the way that needs to be. Well, I wanted to let you know today personally that God also has apparently another ministry assignment for me. This past Sunday, I was privileged to preach in view of a call at Glorieta Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And they unanimously called and said that God had led them to me to be their next pastor. Glorieta Baptist Church is a church with which I've been acquainted for the last 20 years. They are the flagship Indian church in the state of Oklahoma. It's a church that God has used much to advance the work of mission among Native American people in Oklahoma City, in the state of Oklahoma, as well as around the country. And in my previous role as a national missionary for Native work with the North American Mission Board, I was able to partner with Glorieta through the years, work with its previous pastors. And at their time of transition right now, where a long-term pastor has now retired, God made it very clear to them and to me that God was in calling me to go and serve as their next pastor. God has given me a compelling vision for what I believe he wants to do in Native America. In fact, he gave me that vision 20 years ago when I served as a Native National Missionary. I believe that God's calling and wants that church and me as its pastor to be a part of seeing a spiritual awakening take place that will sweep through all of Native America in a way that will bless all the nations to the end of the earth. Grateful for and humbled by the privilege and the opportunity that God is apparently giving to us. It's with mixed emotions that we certainly accept with excitement, but it means a transition away from Virginia, my home state. Virginia also happens to be the state where two of my 4 grandchildren live, and my daughter and her family. So we don't leave Virginia without a lot of our heart remaining here. Our heart remains with you. My commitment has been with you. You know that, and my prayers will continue with you. It's been my privilege to walk alongside of you, and I pray that each of you in your ministry will be further affirmed and encouraged as you continue to faithfully serve the Father together. I rejoice that God's allowing me to pastor a church yet again. I was privileged to pastor 2 churches early in my ministry, and quite honestly, it's been my joy to walk alongside of you as you pastor, and I'm excited that God's going to allow me to pastor yet again as well. So pray with us as we transition. We're not leaving until our house sells, so we will more than likely be hanging around with you here at the SBC of Virginia and you in your church probably through the middle of November. So we'll have good times to fellowship. This very Tuesday, in fact, we're going to be with Brian Autry, both at Great Bridge Baptist Church in the morning at 9 o'clock, as well as at Smoke Restaurant Newport News at noon. Come and join us for that. And then throughout the month of October, if you look at that newsletter I sent to you by email, we're going to have about 8 or 9 pastor fellowships coming up around the region through the month of October. Please check out those dates and make it a point to come and join us at one of those gatherings. It's going to be talking about you and your ministry. but I personally would relish the opportunity to connect with each of you another time around a meal and to share good and sweet fellowship with you. Love all of you, grateful for your ministry, and thank you for allowing me to share what I believe that God is calling us to be a part of for my wife and myself. God's richest blessings to all of you.